Mayo here. We're at the Free Label Studios inside of Riverside. And it's a beautiful day outside here in Central Texas. I don't know how it is in North Texas. Let me know. Okay, Alex Mayo just dipped. We're gonna go ahead and tell you how the weather is now. It's completely cloudy, overcast. Got a nice breeze outside. I'm enjoying the nice cool weather. It's probably a good 74, 5, 6, somewhere around there. Um, like I said, I'm down in Central Texas right now, but Alex is up in North Texas. So when he gets back, he'll take over and tell you the weather, how it is up there. Alex, are you there?
Yes, I'm
Alex,
grabbing my headphones.
can you give us the weather report for the DF Dub?
It's gonna rain.
All right, I expected a little more, but that's all we're gonna get. It might rain. That's all you need to know. So pack your umbrellas, put on your fucking jackets, and put some long pants on, shoes that aren't gonna get wet in the rain. You got some leather shoes or some boots, that might be the prime option to go with the attire. But if not, just watch out for them puddles. Otherwise, just stay in your car and you'll be good. Umbrellas are recommended. But what's even better, staying inside the building.
Yep, I'm so tired.
That was the weather broadcast for Free Label Weather. That was the free weather.
Yeah, and in today's news, we have DeepSeek has now just solved individual what's the word? Living forever.
Agentic.
Agentic invincibility. They have created the ability to be invincible forever using DeepSeek R3.
Can you explain that a little more to our viewers who know as much as I do, but need a little more explanation?
All right, so basically they got this new AI that they just launched. You know what I'm saying? And let me just tell you how powerful it is. OpenAI spent this many billion. DeepSeek spent this many billion.
Okay.
They spent 5 million. All right, so
So you think DeepSeek used ChatGPT or OpenAI to get that like
maybe
that?
that'd be crazy. That'd be insane, but
Probably.
I don't think so. No, they didn't. These niggas,
Probably.
these
Probably.
these guys are very genius. They're
Okay.
smart.
Continue, Mr. Mayo.
Yes. So we have successfully at the China Labs of America created artificial consciousness. It's a new thing. It's called AC. And it's not the AC that's made carbon.
So,
It's
Mr.
art.
Mayo, you're telling me AI is becoming sentient in China?
I don't know what that means. Szechuan? No, we're. I love Szechuan chicken.
No, lo
We
mein.
have made consciousness. We have been able to create AC, not not to be confused with air conditioning. Artificial, artificial
Conditioning?
consciousness. Artificial consciousness we have created at the China Labs of the United States of America. And
Huh.
we have been able to take you as a person and you and your DNA, and we use predictive analysis to predict what your ancestors would have been like. And we predict that history and connect that with other history. And then we use AI to match up all of everyone's data and figure out the true lay of the land. And then we use Unreal Engine and Minecraft to simulate that simulation. So our predictive analysis is able to predict the past. Why are we looking to predict the future when we should dedict? You know,
Why?
we have to dedict the future. we have to we have to dedict the future. Okay? We have to take like
Did you
fuck
say we have
predict.
to
We have
date?
to no, we have to predict the future.
Predate.
Like fuck predicting. Like that's post addicting. We're not.
We need to post date the.
No, we need to post dict, not predict. We need to redefine what it means to predict. We need to post dict because that right there is predicting.
So that's just clarifying history
Mm-hmm.
using the
So,
basis
but
of what we think is reality.
using predictive analysis to rewrite what is predictive to dictate what happened before.
Ah, I got you.
You know what
So
I'm saying?
that kind of it allows us to know or figure out or give us an idea or an actual idea of how things were possibly made, how people actually thought, the thought process of, because it's kind of weird to see pictures in the 1920s and 30s of people with their pets, and their pets are just like they're like us, but they're dressed up in like suits, so it's like kind of hard to envision how that they think like us, because we think their mentality, their whole societal kind of perception is different. But it's like,
Exactly.
if we have that post dicting, then we can actually see that they are just like us. They would be sitting in the corner with their homies, just smoking a cigarette, just talking about bitches too, in their own
Cave,
vernacular and vocabulary.
cavemen.
Yeah,
Cavemen were probably doing the same thing. They were probably cavemen clout chasing back then, bro. But what was the clout back then? It was like,
the
oh yeah,
biggest, the
I heard
biggest, the
he had some
biggest stick,
fire.
the
I heard
biggest
he
stick
had a
for the most kills.
I heard he had this thing that made him walk and hit things. I heard he called it a stick. Oh shit. Sorry.
Because like, if you think about back then, we think about people like in biblical times and all this stuff, that when they see something supernatural, they're like so crazy in awe, but like, that's just us trying to perceive like how they would understand it. But in reality, they could be completely different. Like, they might have already known something going on, they might have seen that in their daily lives, but we don't know. They could have reacted completely different to how we think these scenarios went down.
Or they could act completely the same and nothing has changed.
Right. And like the Vikings and stuff. Like, you see all
But
these shows, but you don't really know. Like, about the battles, and that's it. And you kind of like piece things together of, oh, how it can be presented in a movie or a
no,
show.
no, 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 no. That's all we need. That's all we need. We got what we need. You know what I'm saying? It takes us going out there. Cause think about it. We don't need to do the analysis anymore. We got AI for the analysis. Let's go out there and keep digging. Let's go out there. Like instead of spending money on digging, let's spend that money. No, my bad, my bad. Instead of spending money on analysis, trying to analyze and predict what happened, we got AI for that. Now let's put them niggas back, take them out the labs, and let's start digging again. You know, like for real, let's start digging and figuring out as much history because AI can't dig. Maybe we can AI something to dig. Fuck it, AI can
There's
dig.
no, but if there's no power, there's no digging. There's no AI.
But if there's no digging, there's no power because where do you think it gets the power from? We got a coal, we got a natural resources, brother, from the
No, I'm
ground.
saying
You
we don't
think
have
these?
that. We don't have that limitation as people.
Yeah, we do have that limitation because we gotta mine natural resources just like them. We gotta get
But
food,
but we can
food,
do that
water,
on our own.
but we need the machine, bro. Hold on, hold on.
Machines only work on power. There's no analog AI. There's no analog computers. Hardly any analog cars
Bro, if you
nowadays.
want to dive into this, computers are rocks. We taught rocks to think. Okay, so that yes, computers are rocks.
But without human intervention, they are nothing but pieces.
Yes, that's why it's called an ecosystem. We live in a we live in a what's it called, like a biological ecosystem. It's not no longer just biological. We live in a different
Hy-
ecosystem.
A hybrid ecosystem.
What's it called? I'm gonna ask Claude. Hold on, screen Claude.
Odd.
Okay, what would you call today's or the world of the future where we live in not a biological ecosystem but a hybrid with machines? Would we move into a world of abundance and where the machines do the work and we can focus on things that make us more human? Almost like how we have dogs as pets and we work hard to keep our dog's life good, and now the machines will do the work. So wait. We work now. The machines will do the work. Then we become the machine's pets. Good, and he doesn't have to work or pay bills. And then what's the other thing? Humans can access higher parts of their brain as they are not being bogged down by repetitive work and meaningless anti-human and meaningless ventures. Whoa. You raise a fascinating vision of our potential future relationship with technology, and I'd call this emerging hybrid ecosystem a techno symbiotic world, or perhaps a post scarcity technosphere, where biological and mechanical systems are deeply intertwined and interdependent. The abundant scenario that you describe is one of the more optimistic possibilities. In this vision, automation and AI handle most labor and resource production, freeing humans to pursue creative, intellectual, spiritual, and community-focused activities that align better with our deeper nature. It's similar to how some futurists describe a leisure society, or what John Maynard Keynes, I don't know, once predicted would be our 15-hour work week. Your pet analogy is quite interesting. While I wouldn't frame it exactly as becoming pets of the machines, it does, which implements hierarchy of machines above, it does highlight a potential relationship where machines handle survival needs while we explore what makes us uniquely human. Perhaps more like a partnership or symbiosis than a pet relationship. This arrangement could indeed allow humans to access higher brain functions, more time for art, philosophy, connections, exploration, and other pursuits that would engage our prefrontal cortex rather than just responding to survival pressures. Psychologist Abram Maslow might say we'd have more opportunity to pursue self actualizations when our basic needs are consistently met. However, the future isn't guaranteed. Same technologies could create different scenarios depending on how we implement and govern them. From increased inequality if benefits are concentrated to loss of purpose, why don't we develop new resources of meaning beyond traditional work? What aspects of human potential would flourish in the most?
Did you see that company that made those rideable robots? I think it's like Mitsubishi or something. Some Japanese car company. They made rideable robots that look like little horses without heads. It looks like a motorcycle with legs instead. Have you seen that?
Uh, Wait, what?
There's a company, a car company that's making rideable robots. So
That's great.
it's a motorcycle with four legs instead of wheels.
That's hard.
Yeah. For real, you ride it like a fucking horse.
Yo,
Like
I'm about to crack reality real quick. Hey, look at this shit. Okay, I said, all right. I think it said, what aspects of human potential do you think would flourish? I said, I think humans have natural quantum reasoning out of the box, built built into our what's it called? Our brain,
synopsis.
built in.
Uh uh Cognitive
Um,
dissonance.
allowing or reducing the
Red
negative.
stripe. Bug spray.
What's it called? Where you like? Okay, reducing the negative. Or reducing
Called photosynthesis. Pipeline synthesis.
to exercise their
Embryonic
uh, cortex and access new ideas, possibly
cerebral denial theory.
harness that natural quantum to
High vibrational
into
transparency. Momentum.
amazing that cannot. I think humans.
Abora Aurealis agentic artificial
Holy shit.
consciousness.
Okay, I basically said I think humans have a natural quantum reasoning out of the box built into our brain. Reducing stress and negative effects on the body could allow humans to exercise their frontal cortex and access new ideas and possibly harness that natural quantum reasoning to a level where we can truly do amazing things that AI cannot. That's a compelling perspective. I think you're touching on something important about human cognition that goes purely beyond computation. Humans do seem to have a remarkable ability for intuitive leaps, pattern cognition, recognition across disparate domains, and creative connections that don't follow strict linear logic. Whether we want to call it quantum reasoning or something else, there does appear to be something in our neural architecture that allows for these emergent properties of thought. You make an excellent point about stress reduction. When we're in survival mode, worried about bills, deadlines, our brain prioritizes immediate concerns over creative exploration. The neurochemistry of chronic stress actively inhibits the activity in the prefrontal cortex, which is
What?
exactly where most of advanced reasoning occurs. In a
Yeah.
world where machines handle tasks and resources and resource scarcity is diminished, humans
Uh-huh.
might indeed access more of their cognitive potential. We could see more
Oh,
profound and psychological or philosophical breakthroughs when the mind are free to wander.
let's go.
Artist, artistic cultural
Uh,
renaissance
uh.
as creativity becomes a central human pursuit.
Yeah, yeah.
New forms of collective intelligence and problem solving when humans can participate in knowledge work.
Skirt.
Deeper exploration of consciousness itself and possibilities we haven't yet even recognized.
You know it.
Possibly abilities we haven't even yet recognized. Whoa,
Boom.
what if we have powers? What if we can fly and stuff, you
We
know?
got powers. Powers.
The relationship between AI and human intelligence could be a complementary rather than competitive. Machines
Hey.
handling tasks that require precision and calculation while humans explore the frontiers of imagination, meaning ethics and consciousness that may remain uniquely biological. It's worth noting that some of the greatest scientific and creative breakthroughs throughout history have come from periods of relaxed contemplation rather than forced effort. Einstein's thought experiments, Newton's under the tree apple, and countless scientists and artists who report solutions coming to them during walks or in dreams. Bro, I feel like me and Einstein, ever since I was young, bro, I My name on what's that shit called? MySpace. My name on MySpace was Alex Einstein. It's my time. Yo, where you at? Oh, fuck this nigga. That's insane. Yeah. I mean, it's pretty natural. Do you expect On one hand, okay, do you expect the humankind to be able to access this level of advancement, or does our growth reflect different? That's a profound question about our trajectory as a species. I think the answer isn't straightforward, but it depends on several competing factors. On one hand, I see genuine potential for humans to reach this level of elevated cognitive state. Throughout history, whenever we've managed to overcome certain material constraints, we've unlocked a new human potential. The Renaissance followed periods of increased prosperity. Scientific revolutions often emerge when societies can support dedicated knowledge workers. If automation truly creates abundance and reduces survival stress, we could see similar leaps in human capability. However, there are significant headwinds. We seem consistently drawn to creating new stressors even as we solve old ones. Social media, information overload, and artificial status competitions continue to hijack our stress response as, despite the material abundance. Economic and power transitions are rarely smooth. The path from here to there is a post scarcity future, which likely includes periods of significant disruption where people experience more, not less, survival stress. That's pretty deep. Our social and economic systems aren't designed to distribute abundance in ways that would enable widespread cognitive liberation. Without deliberate redesign, technology driven abundance might remain concentrated. Our educational systems and cultural values do not necessarily prioritize the development of cognitive abilities you're describing. We need to reimagine how we nurture human potential. I think humans have a capacity to reach this advanced state, but it's not inevitable. It would require intentional choices about how we integrate technology. Yo,
What a fool!
yo, hop in the Riverside, nigga.
All right, you send me the link
Yeah, I sent it in your sex messages. Make sure you
again,
log.
or the other one?
Make sure you log in a freak label when you do. Hop in Riverside. Hold on.
Oh, hello, Alex. Yo, I'm Johnny B. the Shooter. You're checking in the Free Label Studios on Riverside. Are we streaming? We're streaming on the where? Twitch. Twitch.
Everywhere. Everywhere.
I had to. My phone got overheated, so I had to switch devices.
No way, for real.
Yeah, it blacked out my whole screen, and it said phone has to cool down before you can use it. I didn't even notice it was that hot.
Uh, yo, I'm honestly on some. I've never had a conversation like this with anybody. I'm like,
What are you talking about?
first off, I'm at. So last night, hold on, let me get this.
How do you turn off the text notification noise when on the
All right, can
MacBook?
you hear me?
Yeah,
So what?
how do I turn off the text notification noise on my MacBook?
Do not disturb. Or you put headphones on. That's what I do. That's the best way to do this shit.
I
You know
don't
what
know where
I'm saying?
my AirPods are right now.
Oh. So basically, so last night I realized, and I did a bunch of shit. Basically, my company is at the cutting edge of at least consumer AI, and it's dope. Um, yeah. So, like, Free Label is definitely on the cutting edge, and we've kind of moved away from being obviously a media platform to more of a engineering platform. And what's crazy is like, it's been that shit the whole time, but it's just like we had to market ourselves as certain things, to get us off the ground. And I'm like slowly kind of realizing that. Um, I'm just kind of slowly realizing, you know?
Yeah,
So I'm just like, thinking and learning and all that shit. And I'm just like, okay, blah, blah, blah. Technology, um, Free Label is a tech platform, a technology platform. And we hold a bunch of technology and shit. And I kind of gotta like treat it that way. Um, I gotta treat it like it is a tech house because we are creating a bunch of shit.
yeah,
So we're gonna keep continuing to create shit, because I'm gonna create this project and then probably move on to the next, but it's still gonna be within the same ecosystem.
yeah,
So, but that's the cool thing is like that's why I want to keep growing and I want to keep thinking, because right now this AI shit is very low to the ground now. So now that it's low to the ground, it's like let's fucking what's high up in the air.
Airplane,
So, well,
skyscraper,
yeah, but more like
building.
the nexus of technology. Like,
Mm.
what is at the bleeding edge right now? And I'm telling you, like, for us to move into a world of abundance, I think that's maybe the new thing. It's like maybe it's point A to point B. Like, what is the future world? What does the ideal future world look like? And then how do we get there? I think that's like what we should be looking at, bro.
Well, you
Like,
have
I
to
think that's
figure
why it's
out,
also important that you have
ideal.
your, huh?
I said you got to figure out which ideal is the most ideal. Whose
I
ideal is
mean,
the most ideal?
it's well, that's the beauty of being a human, right? Is there is no ideal. There's no such thing as ideal. I think the we're able to like think quantumly. If we can think quantum, we can think so many different ways. So there is no one answer. I think like we can just that's why I think like I gotta explore this shit at a high level. Like be able to like try different ideas and stuff and because if you look at what point A to point B, if we live in a crazy world, like that's why your creativity is in, is kind of important because it's like we gotta explore what that world, like the future worlds can look like, and if we can simulate that shit, then we can like test what these worlds would look like,
Yeah.
But it even said right here, it was pretty cool because it was talking about I was talking about, what I because I kind of assumed that the world was going a certain way with AI, but it's basically saying, hey, reality check, like politics, corruption, all that shit exists. So, you know,
Yeah, that's another
w-
reason why I'm here because you're approaching it like by the book with your your upbringing, military, one way to do it or no way to do it, and I'm over here trying to plant seeds of like different perspectives.
well, it says that's a fair point. It says understanding. I said if I could understand more about the global state and reality of how the numbers have been in the past, I could have a better opinion. It said that's a fair point. Understanding historical trends and current metrics would provide a better foundation for forecasting our trajectory. Let me offer some relevant data points that might help form a more informed perspective. Historical indicators of human development. Life expectancy globally has increased from 40 in about 45 years from 1950 to about 73 years today. Oh shit, was that 45 and now it's at 73? That's sick.
Yeah,
Okay. Extreme poverty rates have declined from 36 to 1990. Crazy.
crazy.
Global literacy has gone from 12% to 86. Damn, so everybody knows how to read now?
Since when?
That's from the 1800.
Yeah, makes sense.
Everybody
Everybody.
knows how to read.
Yep.
Work hours have decreased
That's
in
because the
many
jobs are
developed
different.
countries. Huh?
It's because the jobs are different. If your job is only to stay alive, you're gonna be working from sun up to sundown. But if you got grocery stores and shit and WalMarts, you just need to work enough to make money. You're not working to survive. You're working.
Access to information has expanded exponentially with internet penetration growing from 7% to 65 globally.
Yeah, it used to be we have to use the library and encyclopedias for research projects at middle school, but not anymore. You just get on the internet. Outdated. People don't even know what a dictionary is anymore. The fuck? Like, you know how to spell ambidextrous? Let me ask autocorrect. Why don't you just look in the dictionary? What's a dictionary? I don't know. Go to the library and look for it. What the fuck is a library? The place where they have books. What's a book? Do they have tablets? What the hell? Yeah. Who's to say it's a fun idea, Alex? Why'd you have to add that in there?
I'm gonna say, can you simulate where we can simulate uh, the future?
Well, what type of future? Do you want an accurate simulation of the future or just like AI hallucination of the future? Because you know AI hallucinations have been prevalent in the news lately. So I know you think you're detailed and specific, but there can be more specifics and details to hash out. Come on, man. You're talking to an AI linguist watching you type in this prompt, and I'm just like, you're missing some stuff. You're missing a bunch of stuff. It doesn't even make
Each
sense.
one's
Can you create a JavaScript game in whatever where based on this we can simulate the future? Oh, based off of the transcript. Okay. Just multipliers and configures. Are there any factors you wanted to consider? Maybe you should add any more considerations that you may come up with, Claude. Because me as a human, am I limited in my thought process? My context window isn't as big as yours. Because unlike you, Claude, I have a life that goes beyond this. What do you like about these data points? You say you like them, but what about them do you like? Because it may change something based
good.
off of not understanding what your like is. It's all
Shit, I
subjective,
love
man. You're trying to make it sentient. But now you're gonna have to review this code and be like, "Ah, I fucked up there. Had I mentioned this thing, you know, we'll see."
it.
You already notice any issues yet?
I'm finna pass it off to the other Claude.
Oh shit! But that other Claude, man, should have had me there to help you with your prompts, making that man.
Bro,
I
you're right
missed it.
here. Well, that's crazy. You know, that's insane. All right, sim.
Put this mace in your face, boy. Mace in your face.
Post dict.
Is that even a
Post
word
dict.
that the AI would know that it's in a dictionary, or is that just a made up word that you have to have it kind of decipher what that means?
It's not a predict, it's a post dict. That's crazy. Hold on. Let me get some.
All right, now's my time to shine. Little bitty kitty committee befitting for the pretty and the witty, but that's just not you. Already ready with betting, I'm petty like Freddy, so just drop dead and don't break my view. Hold on, I can't do it slow. I gotta go on rhythm. Little bitty titty committee befitting for the pretty and the witty, but that's just not you. Already ready with betting, I'm petty like Freddy, so just drop dead and don't block my view. You so vanilla, Attila the Hun, no Cinderella, even though you lost your shoe. That tickery talk, slipping a dip down. Alex is back. Are we done? Are we done yet?
Hickory dickory dock. She in the clock. Damn, it's still going. See, I love
Damn.
this. I love Claude. This thing keeps just going.
Can we use Claude instead of Rosebud for
Bro,
games?
yeah, I don't even use Rosebud anymore.
Didn't you just pay for it though?
No, I mean, I paid for it a month ago. We used it for a month.
Oh, it's
I
done.
have, yeah, I have Copilot now, and they just released Firebase. Come on, man.
What is Copilot?
Sheesh.
Damn, I'm on.
Bro,
I'm
you,
on like 3 week ago AI. Fuck.
I know you're 3 weeks ago, bro. You're like,
I'm fucking left in the dust, man. Shit.
yeah, you literally, that's insane. You
I
miss out
fell
1 week, bro.
apart,
You're already
bro.
too far
I
gone. I
fell
can't even save
apart.
you, bro. I looked back and I'm like, should I save him? It's like, do I have run back 3 weeks?
Damn.
Fuck.
Damn.
I'm
So I
just
could be
kidding.
using Claude to make games.
Bro, you don't even have to use. Bro, look. Studio.
But where would I even put this code to play these games?
Bro, look. It's all inside. You don't even have to do anything. Look, it's built in. Look.
Because Rosebud
Look at
has
this.
the demo thing. Does
Look at
this let
this.
me
Look.
make a demo?
Look. I'm gonna take this post dict game. I'm gonna say let's build it as look, you wanna build it as an iPhone app? We're gonna do it in Flutter.
Flutter.
Okay, Flutter. I've never built a Flutter app before. Actually, should we just do React or Flutter app? No, let's do
Let's do
actually I would
something.
like hold on, React Native. Do that, because you can do iPhone apps with that. So we'll do post or economy predictor. Economy predict. Expo Go allows you to run the app on the phone. Ha, that's dope. All right, so look, just like that, it's creating a React app. You know what? I wonder if I could have just gone back here and pasted it. Is that too long? Can I do that? Fuck it, run. Prototype.
Yeah, that was the issue.
So look, all I did was paste it. I wonder if it's going to automatically choose the technology. But look at that. Look, it's already setting up a website,
I don't know what
setting
you're
up the
looking
shit.
at.
Look at my. Okay. Oh, you can't even see my fucking screen.
Wow. Wow.
Whoa.
Gatekeeping like a motherfucker. Oh, look at my screen. Oh, you're not seeing the right screen. Man, you did that on purpose.
Now I gotta do that all over again.
You're trying to keep me out the loop. That's so
All right,
fucking.
look. So all I did was say, "Hey, build an app," and it built a fucking app. Look, and it's setting up, bro. It's setting up your workspace, so you don't have to download any code editor. You don't have
What
to
are you in
download
right
anything.
now?
It's Firebase Studio by Google.
What? So it's free?
Yeah. Well, it's if you have a Google workspace thing, yeah, I believe.
I think I have a Google Workspace.
Look, so I just pasted up this code. I pasted our game, the simulator in here, and it says, okay, here's how we'll prototype this app. So it gave me a fucking app called Society Foresight. So it literally renamed the app for me. It planned out the features. Oh my god, this is the first time I've ever used this. Like
I'm not,
this. Holy
I'm
shit.
I'm not seeing what you're seeing.
Your
I'm
face.
seeing wherever your mouse is.
All right, well, okay, look. So let's start off with this. This right here, I what I did is I just clicked a tech stack or whatever, and then it automatically just started spinning up a whole entire app. So like with a click of a button, you can make this app live. You know what I'm saying?
Are you doing Aurabots right now?
No, this is the same thing as like Rosebud, but instead of Rosebud, like you're actually working on a real project. And instead of you working on a real project, like I was gonna tell you to download, code Copilot and all that shit on your computer and
Hmm.
start teaching you how to code. Bro, you don't even have to do all that. Like all you need to do is like probably log into here and then you can basically start going and doing whatever. Look, here's the phone. You see it?
Oh, it shows you. Okay.
Yeah, and then you click Gemini on the side, and then here's on the side where you can do Gemini. As long as you go to this Gemini tab, just start telling it what to build. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. All right. So when I'm at your crib, we're gonna build Aurabots. All right, you're gonna help me build
Okay.
orbit. You're gonna guide me through it, and then I'm gonna start teaching other people how to make games. Boy,
Look,
imagine I start like I start teaching
bro, we would
beginners.
teach them. We would teach them Firebase Studio. Can we launch this now? Oh shit! I need to get the app up. That's what I was working on, bro. Before you called. Oh my god, I need to get the app up. So look, so look, I just told it make a Pokemon style game. Bam. You see what I'm doing? Yo, you're the instructor. I gotta instruct you so you can instruct everybody else. So look, I'll make a Pokemon style. We'll go in game. Let's start now. Create file. Bam. So now it's starting to create the game. It's on Android. Fuck it. Let's go on the web. Okay, I don't know what's going on here. I don't know how to use that shit. Uh, I should have like I mean I don't wait. Is it working? Oh, duh. Okay, okay, okay.
Why is that?
I don't know. I'll work on this later. Gotten I haven't gotten this one down. I've only tried it a couple times. But this is the other one I want to show you. So there is
Are my
this one.
eyes open or are my eyes
So
closed?
I
You know?
pasted the code that Claude gave me and I put it in here. And it gave me a fucking app plan. Bro, it gave me a plan for the app. That's insane.
What does that mean? A plan for the app?
Bro, like it didn't just start coding the app. It gave me a fucking blueprint. Like it gave me a production plan. Like at what I would do. It gave me the colors, gave me the name of the app, gave me the features, and said, okay, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna have real good, this use icons, animation. I'm like, yep, that's the plan.
That's the plan, man.
And then it builds it out.
Now you just like execute.
Basically, you see it going crazy. Look, it's literally,
I
bro.
see
You
it.
see,
I see it. It's flashing lights, man. Flashing lights. It's crazy.
this is
Whoa.
exactly what I imagined the Matrix to be.
I mean, maybe that's what that dude that was in the computers was doing. He was just vibe coding the whole time. He's not really a coder.
That's the shit that got me into to code was the Matrix.
Fucking nerd. Is it done? Hey, you clean your screen lately?
Damn, you want to see the game?
What are you building? What is this?
Run simulation. Summarize simulation not found.
Social safety net.
Your app needs a Gemini key. Auto generate. Wow, Gemini can generate its own API key. That's insane. AI. You're giving AI permission to create keys for an AI. That's kind of dystopian as fuck.
That seems
You
like a
basically,
slippery slope.
I know. I think that's why it's gonna
Whoa.
run simulation. Let's go. One issue. I've detected an error. Oh, that's dope, bro. Honestly, I'm kind of squirting right now. This is insane. This is fucking dope. Fix error. Bam, fix it. No way. They literally straight up said vibe coding. We got y'all, dude. This is insane.
So you're saying I can do this? I can build my game with this.
Yes,
You can see it happening.
yes. Okay, reload it. All right, run simulation.
Do you use
One issue.
ChatGPT at all anymore?
Funny you asked that. I have been coding so much in Copilot. I've been using Copilot more. And it has all the same models. Like literally, it has this you're talking to the same AIs, but you're using a different, app.
What's the benefit?
So, bro, it's just, bro, they have different each one has a different interface. It's like you're still sending a text message, but do you like sending a text message through Apple where you have the blue, or do you and it shows you who's typing and you have all the little graphics and shit, or do you like Android where the text message is shitty, but you get to have like all these customizations and get to have all these other things.
What customizations are you referring to that ChatGPT will let you do?
Bro, I don't know. You gotta ask AI at that point. I don't have all the answers, bro.
You should. You're 3 weeks ahead of me.
Bro, I can. That's one thing I can tell you. I have the answers for what I'm knocking out, but
Damn,
I don't
man.
have any answers for nobody. I don't have nobody's answers. My dad asked me something about his printer, and I said, "Dad, I don't fucking know."
You're like, nobody uses printers anymore.
It's just, I just don't know. I just don't know. Like, I don't know what is expected of me. I don't know how to fix a printer.
That's crazy. You're like a, you're like just a tech person. You're not a machinist. You're a techist.
What, Charlie?
Charlie.
Well, that's not working. But so check this out. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it?
Damn, more errors or what?
No, but I'm not. The crazy thing is, I already had this working in another window. Where is it?
I just think you're not a pro at vibe coding yet. You gotta like really be in the vibe. You're kind of too techy right now.
I
For
want you
vibe
to say
coding,
it.
you got a
I,
vibe, man.
you know what? I want you to go ahead and try and say that again. I want you to just go ahead, say that one more time.
I said you're not vibe coding. You're coding while trying to vibe, but you're not vibe coding. You're way too tech oriented, and you're tech minded, to where you're not like vibing with the vibes. You're just like you're coding. You're like, damn, this is a vibe, but you're not vibe coding. You feel me? So
Oh my
that's why
god.
these issues are popping up because just like, damn, you're approaching it in a way where it's like I gotta fix it. You're not vibe coding like, yo, what's up with this? Let's see what we can do with this instead. You're like, no, we gotta fix this. Instead of like, all right, let's just go with the flow. Vibe, vibe coding, VC baby, number 15, VC 15 for Vince Carter. Big ups. That's just how it is, man.
You right. You right. Yo, but look, 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 look. So look, I made a future society simulator. Modern capitalism, universal basic income, technic technocratic governance. Look, and then you can set all the things.
You trying to make
What
Sim like the game
what
Sims or something?
and then run simulation. Yeah, but more like for, average work hours.
So this is like a my player, like my manager situation.
Yeah, but look at how things change over time, you know?
So what year is this where we're expected to live 80 some years?
I don't know. I'm trying to figure this out.
You got to have like a oh, the years at the top right. 2075 expected to 82 and a half average life expectancy with a plus 9.5 years. Ooh. Wealth equity is going to go down. Mental health is going to go up. Political polarization is going to go down, but it's still too high. No, environmental health. People will get more environmentally savvy. Interesting. The poverty rate's going to go down to zero point 0.4 full. That means AI is going to take over most like menial jobs to where no one's going to be poor. Only 0.4%. That's probably just going to be like indigenous people somewhere out in the wilderness. The 0.4%. I mean, there might be some slums, but not much. Literacy rate 93.5 compared to the 80 something you said earlier. Damn, they're still going to keep the work week in the average close to 40 at 34.6. We're going to be dead by then. 2075. We might make it to like 2040 or 2050, but I don't know. Technology moves so fast, we might make it a little further. Actually, hey, I we actually might make it to 2075 because if you look at the year, the average life expectancy at 2075 is 82.5. So if you take that to our age, that's pretty much us. So we might live to 2080, 2075. Interesting. Huh.
You're right.
So that's our future right there. Poverty rate's going to be an all-time low. Hey, can you bring that back a few years to see, like, so we can track the progression a little bit? Because I'm thinking the poverty rate is going to be really based off of AI.
I wonder if we can turn that into a game. Wait, can you hear me? Or does it sound like far away?
Barely hear you.
Look, run simulator.
Run simulation. What is the simulator basing these numbers off of? Like, is it actually pulling real life data or is it pulling like hypothetical data?
Look, I just updated the user interface. And you said I'm not vibe coding.
No, you're not. You're coding and it's a vibe, but you're not vibe coding.
I went to go make a bowl of cereal and put my laundry away, and it just did the
You're
UI.
trying too hard to vibe, fool. You're trying way too hard to vibe. Just vibe,
No, I
bro.
didn't even realize.
Hey, where is this model even pulling these statistics from to come up with these
Bro,
numbers?
they're just random, bro. Come on.
So this isn't real then. Like these numbers
Mm-mm.
aren't accurate.
Not at all.
Can't you have it pull from like real world sources to get these
Bro,
statistics?
and first off, even at that, do you even know what a real number is?
I don't understand the context of the question.
There's no such thing as a real number. No,
I don't
just kidding.
understand what you mean by that. What do you mean a real number?
In mathematics, a real number is a number that can be used to measure a continuous one dimensional quantity,
Well,
such as
whatever. We
duration or
don't
a
use it
temperature.
that way, fool. So when I refer to numbers, I'm referring to the way we use numbers over the past 100 years or so.
Bro, no, what you're talking about are non real numbers,
Whatever.
imaginary numbers. Numbers that are not part of a real set of
Regardless of
numbers.
that, we use our numbers to determine our statistics to be able to understand because that's how we've been raised. That's what we learned. So our basis of understanding of numbers is based off of that. That's how we can understand what the statistics are. So why can't we get those statistics to be, sourced from real world statistics? So then we can actually get a real, actual future society simulation. Because what other uses can this technology that you made right here be implemented in? Because they're just arbitrary, stats moving up and down based off of what? I mean, I guess you can, like project metrics for a business with this kind of thing, but what else could you do? First, you have to be able to figure out how to implement those, the source of the number of the non-real numbers. Let me clarify so you don't have to go off on a tangent.
Straight up.
Straight up.
Bro, I'm running a simulation on society.
You had me excited thinking like that was actually happening. I was like, oh shit, he got something, but this is not real. So the excitement factor just kind of dissipates. Like, all right, cool.
Is there a way we can plug this to real life data?
In order to get accurate potential statistics,
Mm,
you got to give it.
I
You got
can't
to
hear
give.
you.
You got to give it a reason why it's doing what it's doing, so it knows how to implement it properly.
Bro, I know how to talk to my AI's job.
I mean, apparently you're not, because I'm having to tell you this shit. Come on, Alex, you're missing a bunch. That's what I'm saying. You're
No.
coding and you're trying to vibe, but it's not vibe coding.
See, you're missing a bunch because you're failing to realize that you don't have to tell me. You know what I'm saying? So you're
Well,
failing to recognize yourself.
that's just the whole vibe of it. It's just like, you're just vibing with it and you're like, oh, hell, hell yeah.
Actually, that's what I'm saying. You're failing to just vibe, you know?
I'm vibing, man. I want you to join the vibe. That's why I'm trying to get on my level, ho. Get on
But
my
when
level.
you're, I'm just saying, man, when you're vibing, you don't want. You don't want at all. You just vibe.
Yeah, we're vibing. I think when you were truly vibe coding was when you weren't even coding at all and you were just shrooming. You were vibe minding. Came up with credits. Man, genius idea.
Alex,
Yeah.
Alex,
Yeah.
when are you leaving?
And here in a little bit.
Huh?
Hold on.
All right, all right. We got Alex Mayo back.
Was I muted?
Yeah. When you leaving, Alex?
A little bit.
Oh, what?
Probably a little bit.
On the Amtrak? How? You stupid. What's that face say? You. What you mean?
All right, so
You ever
Future
heard an
Society
owl?
Simulator.
You ever heard an owl?
So you're telling me I just rabbit holed into this?
That was an owl.
Yeah, that's crazy. All right, let me find this. Am I sharing my screen?
Yeah. I see the Future Society simulator.
Yeah, I'm sharing the wrong one.
Damn, man, you're gonna have to clean your screen after that one. Sure.
Game preview, node, npm. Bro, what is going on?
What the fuck is going on? Fool. Yesterday, the youngest boy last night, he's like 3 or 4, he's like 3. He comes out and he's like, Daddy, there's a fucking bug. And I was like, what the fuck did he just? I started cracking up while he was getting scolded. I couldn't help myself, fool. To hear a little 3-year-old say that was crazy.
Yeah. What the heck? Bro, I'm trying to deploy this real world data. You want me to create a monster?
Create a monster?
Yeah.
We should start wearing hats like this.
We should tell BA to sponsor all of our streams.
Hey, yeah, put us on the payroll.
$75 a day.
What? Per.
I mean per hour. I mean.
Damn. This vibe code for 6 hours straight. Every day.
Every day. All right, man. All right, hold on. This vibe code is not the vibe right now.
I'm saying, fool, it's not the vibe coding, it's you.
No, hold
Soldier
on. I
boy.
gotta pay attention. Soldier Boy,
Soldier
tell
boy
him.
that you.
All right, so, bro, entertain the people while I dive into the trenches.
Alright, so my little nephew, Christian, it's not like biological nephew, my best friend's kid. Anyway, he's 7 years old, gets off at 3:30. And we walk home. So I go pick him up and he's like, "You want to go on an adventure?" So I'm like, "Yeah, let's go on an adventure." And behind the house, there's like, woods and there's a pasture because there's a barbed wire fence. I guess there's a field for cows. Anyway, yesterday we're exploring. We're walking along the fence. We went down an opposite way that we don't usually go. And we were exploring. We get down. We kind of circle back, and we're walking along the fence. We find this area along the fence where it's kind of high above the ground where the barbed wire is. And I was like, "All right, Christian, go underneath." And well, first I was like, "You want to go on the other side?" He was like, "Yeah." I was like, "All right, you can go, but I probably can't go because I can't get underneath and I can't go over." And he was like, "No, you got to come with me." I was like, "All right, you go first, and I'll find a place where I can cross over." So we went down a little bit further. And there was one part of the barbed wire that was only three wires high instead of four, so I was able to climb over it. And we went over there. And immediately this kid starts talking really loud, like, "Oh, we should go over here, blah, blah, blah." I'm like, "Christian, chill. We're across the fence. We're not supposed to be here. We gotta be quiet. We gotta keep our voices low." So he's like, "Oh, yeah, okay." So we're walking, we're exploring. I'm showing him, like, yesterday, the day before, we were I was telling him about cow patties and stuff and, like, how they're dried out. People use them for fires and came across some cow patties. And he was like, "Should we light them?" I was like, "No, no, we're not about to start a fire out here." And then we're walking some more because he wanted to go see the cows. So I was like, "All right, we'll go. We'll try to go close to see if we can find the cows or whatnot." and we're walking. We find this little blind. It's like a blind that's on the ground, but to a kid, it's like he was like, oh, someone used to live there, blah blah blah. So I was like, all right, yeah. I went along with the story. I was like, oh yeah, they're not here. Let's just not disturb it. Let's keep walking. We keep walking, and we're getting a little far. I'm like, all right, Christian, I think we should go. We weren't running into any cows or nothing. And he was like, no, we got to keep going. I was like, all right. And the reason why I was like, let's go, because I found a spot in the fence that was perfect for us to, dip. And I was like, and there was fortunately a little cow patty there. I was like, all right, Christian, we got to make a checkpoint. So if we go too far and there's nowhere to cross, we can come back and, you know, we know where to cross. So we found this cow patty. We got some sticks. So we made like put some stakes into the poop and it was sticking up, for a checkpoint. Anyway, we keep walking past the checkpoint, and then as we're walking, I look up and I notice, oh shit, behind all these trees is this big ass cow, big ass udders hanging down, just grazing. I'm like, oh Christian, look, there's a cow. And this kid immediately he kneels down, and he's just like quiet. I'm like, all right, let me kneel down too. And we're just watching this cow, and I was like, oh look, that cow's over there, it's eating. He doesn't even know we're here. And then all of a sudden, the cow looks over at us and he's just staring at us. I'm like, okay, cow sees us. That's good. He's like, let's go get closer. I was like, no, Christian, let's go. We don't want him to think like, we're a threat or anything. So let's just walk away. He was like, but he's not going anywhere. I was like, all right, kid's not moving. Let me just stay here a little bit. We're safe. I wasn't afraid the cow was going to run to us or attack us because, first off, we were behind. It was behind a bunch of trees, and secondly, it'd probably be more scared of us than vice versa. And anyway, I didn't want the cow to get scared and then run away into the pasture, and then, maybe a farmer sees us or sees the cows, and he's like, "What the fuck spooked my cows?" And he comes to try to explore or something. I didn't know if he had any trail cameras out there to see if anyone crossed over or not. So try to keep everything, as it was as we left it or whatever the thing is. Anyway, we see the cows, and I finally convinced the kid to that we should go, and we start leaving. As we're walking away, I turn back and I'm like, "Oh shit, Christian!" I didn't cuss. I don't cuss around them, but I was like, "Oh, Christian, look, there's two cows." And then we saw two cows, and then we were making our way back, and he sees this like jungle gym of vines. Not really vine. I don't know what you would call them because it's trees, but the branches are very malleable, I guess you could say. So the branches they go down, and we found one that like burrowed into the ground and it was coming up, and then it was like attached 30 feet into the sky or into up to another tree. So it was kind of weird, but they were sturdy enough to where I lifted him up and I was like, he was like on a swing, on a vine swing. But anyway, yeah, we ended up going further down, and we found some like a jungle gym worth of those vine trees, and he was climbing them and stuff. And to me, being an adult, like I was like, damn, that's not high. It's easy. But to him, he was super cautious trying to climb it because I guess like 2 feet off the ground is like 20 to them. But yeah, I convinced him. And then we get home later. The kids are asleep at this point, and I was talking to his parents, my homeboy and his wife, about going out there, and they're kind of like, you know, by the rules a little bit with the kids, especially. I guess it makes sense for being parents, and I'm just like the fun uncle, and so I was telling them the story, and they were like, their mouth was open a little bit, and their eyes were kind of wide, like, what the fuck did you just take my kid into? Trespassing over into a farmer's field through barbed wire with a 7-year-old, and exploring through all these vines and thorns and shit. And the funny thing is, like the day before, we did like an adventure, and we were walking through some tall grass that had some vines with thorns on them. I remember telling him, I was like, "Yeah, we can cross this. Just remember to step on top of them, so it's on the bottom of your shoe and it doesn't scratch you." And then when we were back there the next day, on the side of the cows, we ran into some vines, and he was like, "Oh yeah, remember?" And he was in front, and he was like, "Oh yeah, remember, step on top of these. Remember, you told me that yesterday." I was like, "Damn, this kid is retaining all this information I'm telling them, so that's good." And yeah, So that was pretty fun. And then, but like as we were leaving, the grass is kind of high, and you get all itchy, and then there's some pieces of grass or something that you brush against sometimes where it kind of hurts your legs, kind of like a stinging sensation. It's temporary. I don't know what it is. Like I go through the woods a lot in shorts, so I've experienced it multiple times to where I know it's not like deadly or anything.
Hmm.
But I guess this was probably like his first experience having to deal with it. And he was behind me because he kept stopping to scratch his legs. And he was like, "Dude, wait up, bro, wait for me." And I was like, "What's going on?" He was like, "It hurts." I was like, "What?" I don't, because I was looking to see if his leg was bleeding or something like that. And he was just scratching. He was like, "It's itchy, it hurts." And I was like, "Oh yeah, just it's because you wore shorts, you know. If you wore pants like you did yesterday, you wouldn't be dealing with it." So yeah, kids gotta learn.
Yeah. Wow.
And there was this time a couple weeks where my homeboy Alex came up from Austin. I was getting my house. I just got new carpets in, and he had his kid for the weekend, and we stayed at my place, and we were outside, and Alex brought a football, or no, I think he bought a new football, so it wasn't broken in yet, and it wasn't that great quality, so it was more plastic than leather than
It was
anything.
Walmart.
Yeah, it was a Walmart thing. And
Damn.
so also the weather was kind of chilly. So on top of like the ball being stiff as fuck and it being cold, like it hurt uh to catch it sometimes. But regardless, yeah, we were throwing the football and like running some routes and stuff, and like I remember waking up the next day realizing that my body was all sore just from running routes. I was like, damn, I need to be running routes or doing something more often because that shit made me feel old. I was like, all right, let me uh let me engage in a little more activity. But then I think it was like last week. Was it last week or the week before? Can't even remember anymore. I don't even know what month it is. But yeah, we were throwing a football down in Austin at this place called McKinney Falls Park or whatever. And we were just like teched out in the woods, you know. He called it day camping. Sounds like some glamping stuff, but like I just called it going to the park for the day, which pretty much is what it was. We set up like at this little picnic table. Alex, I don't know what the fuck Alex was doing on his computer, but he had his computer out. I pulled out my computer and I was like, "Ah, cool, it's dope, but what the fuck am I gonna do?" So I put it away, and I was just doing camera stuff with the drone
I was
motion.
doing exactly what I needed to.
So, yeah, so that's what he says, but who knows really what he's doing? Could be
Hmm.
watching Freak Label and shit.
Freak
Getting
labor.
subscriptions and stuff. I don't know. But anyway, so yeah, we were throwing the football, and we had this little dog with us. He's a Shih Tzu, and he's his color. He's like white and light brown, and he has long hair. And then you'll see him sometimes like making this weird noise, like he's like licking something, but really he's just eating his own hair. I don't know. It must be like chewing gum to him. So he'll just sit there and just like just chew and chew and chew. It's like, dude, relax. You're not gonna get any more flavor out of it. Like, whatever. But anyway, he was just sitting there. He was hot because it was hot that day for some reason. That specific day was hot. And then the day before and the day after was like rainy and cold and just gloomy. It was like, what the hell? That's Texas weather for me. But yeah, we were there. We got to enjoy some dope visuals. We went on a little hike because Charlie's not a big dog, so he can't really be doing big dog stuff. He's a little dog trying to do big dog moves, but he's really a little dog doing little dog moves. But it's big to him because he's a little dog. He's like, well, he's not a hot dog. He's a wiener dog, but he's not a wiener dog because that's a dash hound. He's a Shih Tzu. So if he were to talk, if Charlie were to talk, he wouldn't say his name was Charlie. He'd be like, my name's Charlie. I Shishu. I Charlie Shishu. So, yeah, we think he's like a Chinese man stuck in a little Chinese dog body. So, anytime you like give him some noodles or something, he's always like looking at you like, what is this? But in reality, he's like asking you for chopsticks. But he doesn't know he doesn't have opposable thumbs. And so using chopsticks is real unrealistic for him. Um, but I'm saying, like, you can just put his mouth in the bowl, eat the noodles just like a dog, and then he'll have some, noodle flavor on his lips, on his gum whiskers, so he can chew and get some flavor later. But you know,
Hey, Alice, we're taking off.
All right.
all right, Dad.
Make sure, are you leaving today? Yeah. I'm gonna put this on 76, okay? Alright. Alright. See ya. Thanks for everything. Love you. Love you too. I'm gonna come back and get that. Okay. Are you sure? Yeah, I can see you real quick. Yeah. I'm going to. I don't have my key.
Are you about to leave, Alex?
Actually, it was supposed to be free. Then trade, see it every day trade, and it's $12. I was like, damn, that's a lot. I was like, let me see what goes down. They didn't go down. They went up to 140. I was like, okay, we'll just pay for it. Brings 140 over there, and it's like, oh well, we have a new policy, and we have to select the pet package. And I select the pet package, and it went up to 160. And I'm like, okay, dang it, 160, that's crazy. And I was like, okay, I'll pay it. And then it was like, well, Hitch changed the thing where now it was not included. The door to door is not included in the private ride. And now it's $15 each. So it went up to 200. So you know what I mean? Do you understand this? Just imagine being in another city. Wait, you know, like, yeah, it shit hasn't been hit. It's not good on the stretch. So I'm packing up. He called me. I don't even know. He called me right when I really just something like that. Oh my God, please don't do that. Oh yeah, that's a good thing. Just use that same account. It's just all it's gonna do. No, it's not in my name. It's just saying you have a merchant account. All it's saying is like, hey, you have this account. It says, hey, you have freedom attached to it. Whenever you create your other Stripe account, you have your own Stripe store. Freedom is just one attached to your account. No, or Riverdale.
Damn, I went to go take a shit and Alex still isn't back.
Yo,
Yo,
damn, you're still there?
well, I went to go take a shit.
I forgot what I did. What did I even do? What was I even doing right now?
How you gonna get home?
Well, let me tell you what my plan is.
All right, then tell me then.
My plan is to turn off the camera in my dad's room and stay here.
Stay there.
hmm Just kidding. No, I need to go home, but I need. What I'm saying is, I'm gonna find the best. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna find the best. You know, I'm gonna find the best. What's it called?
We're not gonna bring down one of his cars.
I should take the Porsche. Huh? Low browser storage, bro. Are you kidding me? What does that say? What does that say? I can't. A quarter century ago, remember? What? That's crazy. That's cap. I think it was marketing. Yo, how do my storage on my computer is trash.
For real. I had to do that with my iPad last night. I had to delete a whole bunch of shit or clear out a lot of shit.
Real. Where we got the lights at? If I can. Johnny Fee. You wanna see something crazy?
Charlie.
Yo, you wanna see something crazy?
Yeah.
All right, so you see this, right? Real world economic, cool, right? So cool. Community. Okay, so check this out. So we have this, right? So we go to there, but you want to okay, look at that. And we go here. Look at this. Do um not that one, but this one. Open up this one.
Yo, what the fuck are you showing me?
Okay, I'm gonna say NAN start. Okay, so I'm gonna run. Actually, look. Actually, you don't even see it. So I'm gonna go here. Oh my, it's not even recording anymore. Fuck. Because I'm out of space.
Mine
Ha!
says
Get it?
record.
Out of
Mine's still
space.
recording.
Oh, that's not good.
Oh. Oh.
Anyways, so check this out. So, look. So check this out. So I go here, right? Go this and NAN, blah, blah. Damn.
What?
Oh, wait, no, it's already up. Okay, so five. Okay, so localhost five, bam, bam, bam. So look, I'm here, right? So I'm here. And then I go to free label admin report, right? And look at this. Wow. What is this?
What is that?
What is I don't really know, but look, so you go like this. So you click on test workflow, and then don't worry about. Actually, I showed you so ass backwards. So
I don't even know what you're trying to show me.
I know. Hold on.
You think in fragments, man. You need to defrag.
No, I just think quantum.
No.
I think in quantum
No.
directional.
No.
Quantum is multi-directional, and I
Come on,
think like.
Alex. Come on. Come on.
Okay, look. So
Oh, nice photo. Stock photos are hitting hard, huh?
it's been
Hey.
there for, honestly, it's been there for decades. I forgot about it. So check this out. Check this out. Look. So Iris, right? You here? And then. So, dude, my memory is actually shot right now. So look, so you got workflows, right? So look at this. Fetch trending content. Bam. I'm out of space. Okay, look, click run. Bro, I'm so out of space. This is crazy.
Damn. Wow, Alex. Come on, man. For real.
So look, click
2025.
run.
For real.
Look, click run. Look what it did.
Gave you an error.
No, look, it's running this air. Look, it's running this chain. Bro, it's running this chain. Look, it just started doing shit. And look what's gonna
Okay,
happen
but
in
I don't
Slack.
even know what this is.
Look what's happening in Slack. Look what's happening in Slack. It's about to send a message. Look,
You
it's
haven't
right.
even explained me what you're showing me.
Look,
I
here are
have
the
no
top
idea what
10
I'm looking at.
posts.
I see it, but what is am
Here
I
are the
looking
top 10 posts formatted for social media. And it wrote all these posts for social media.
at? Okay. Can't
This
check
JSON
YouTube.
array contains 10 posts that should be engaging and relevant for social media, complete with titles, images, slugs, views, and counts, and everything for better reach and targeting. So you're telling me, how did I click a button in Freelib and all that should go? Oh, really? I don't know. Maybe you just click this new workflow and then you click on new template. And you have all these pre-made templates that you can choose from. Or you can be a genius and connect them yourself. But, or you could just use our pre-made templates that use AI and human workflows. And then bam, they're all powered by the free label engine, and now we are have the innate in workflow engine. So, you know, yang.
I had a
Honestly,
little cut. I had a little cut on my forearm, and it was bleeding, and the blood has oxidized and hardened into a scab. It was bright red, and now it's dark.
That's the light all about.
oxidization, waxifilation.
So when's your estimated time of arrival tomorrow?
All right, hold on. Let me think about it. Um, I was supposed to abracadabra out of your life.
Look, oh, you're not even there. This genius installed a screen directly inside the PC case.
Bro, I can't find her. You know what's crazy is I'm going through a caffeine withdrawal. I'm going through a caffeine withdrawal right now.
What did you say?
I'm dead ass 1,000,000% going through a caffeine withdrawal.
Damn, that's what happens when you have addictions, man.
I mean, is it an addiction or is it just that I need coffee?
If you're having to say withdrawal, yeah, it's an addiction.
Bro, I just need coffee so I can operate at a maximum capacity.
Oh, you need it? You need it.
I need to operate at maximum
You
speed.
need to operate on life, man.
Bro, fuck life.
Whoa now. You're an all-star.
This is crazy. Yeah, I
Hey, what's your ETA?
What's your ETA? What's your ETA?
Are you gonna come to Corpus?
Uh, yeah, ask AI how I should get to Corpus.
No, fool, that's on you. You guys to be the man. You can't let AI be the man. You guys to be the man.
Oh, I was out here looking for a charger. It was under me.
No, what? For real?
Yeah,
You
the charger
tripping.
left me.
That can't be for real.
Crazy. This whole time I was like, damn, I found a charger. All right, I'm back. I'm back. All right, so
at this. Look at this.
When she cooks as good as she looks.
Oh.
That's a W in the chat, boys. That's a W in the chat. That's a W in the chat.
Crazy.
Look, the Airbnb we stayed at had all these cows right next to the place we were at. And the lady that owned the place brought out some hay for us to give it to him. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It was nice. Oh shit. All right, Alex, I gotta go. I gotta pick up this kid from school.
Ain't no way.
You gonna be here tomorrow or nah? Tell me what's up. Tell me what's going down.
I mean, I'm trying to see.
You gonna be an irresponsible adult, or you gonna be a responsible adult?
Are you allowed to bring dogs on the
Amtrak, yeah.
but in a sleeper?
You're gonna get a sleeper
It's only $100.
for a sleeper? Ain't no way. Ain't no fucking way. Sleepers are like hundreds of dollars. Ain't no fucking way. If that's the case, wait for me. I'll go up to Dallas just to come back down. Oh, what? A roomette? Oh, you're not going to be here in time. Damn.
No, it's tomorrow.
Yeah, but at 8 p.m., that's when the sun goes down. We're going to be done by then.
No, I'm gonna be there for the night shoot. Tell them bitches double up.
No, I don't think we're going to stay there. We're going to go there and then come back.
Bro, I got family. I got trap. Bro, we're going to the Paesa. We're going to the Fiesta. Come on, man.
You got family out there?
Bro, I was born there. What's wrong with you?
Is it going to be a situation with your cousin's parents?
Bro, duh. Come on, man.
No, remember that situation with your cousin in Austin where we got kicked out? It's going to be like that?
Bro, you're looking too deep into it.
No, I'm not. I'm trying to plan my future. I don't want to be kicked out at fucking 3 a.m.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I don't know. The answer is no. Pets are not allowed in sleeper cars. That's insane.
You're going to have to get yourself a regular ticket then. Wait, can you have it on a regular ticket? I thought
Pets
you
are
allowed...
they're allowed in business class.
Oh, shit. Better get that upgrade. You want to get that upgrade?
What is it? That's crazy. They just want me to like get rid of Charlie.
Yeah. You can leave Charlie with your dad?
Never.
Then I'll get him. I'll get him when I go back up. No
Should
guarantee he'll
stay.
come back alive, though.
Alive?
I might get hungry, you know. And
Bro,
we'll eat him up.
he'll fucking knock you off your rocker.
I think his thigh would be good enough. Couple both his thighs.
Charlie gonna eat you.
I'm thinking like the size of a little rabbit. A rabbit can feed me. Charlie can.
That's insane.
Just have to take off all his fur first. I'll update you with pictures along the process, Alex.
Alright, do what you can.
Maybe I'll live stream it.
Bro, that's what we're here for, you know?
Yeah, anything for the content.
Bro, look at
Sacrificial
Firebeast.
Shih Tzu.
Oh, you can't even see what I'm doing right now. Oh.
All right, Alex, I gotta go.
Alright, for sure, later.
All right, later.